polarity states that there is an opposite for everything that exists in our world. It is necessary for the balance in our universe. Everything has a duality and a built-in opposite that cannot exist without the other. The law of polarity is knowing that nothing is singular. Everything is made up of two parts, that is, polarities of two extremes. Let's take an example of hot and cold. Without knowing what hot is, you wouldn't understand what cold feels like. Without knowing what cold is, you wouldn't understand what hot feels like. Looking at emotions, if you didn't truly appreciate what hate might feel like, you may not fully appreciate what love feels like. Sound, for example. Looking at low sound or quiet sound versus a very loud noise. Without experiencing a calming or quiet sound, we wouldn't be able to fully appreciate when we hear a crash or a loud noise. Without experiencing the dark, we may not be able to fully appreciate the light, and vice versa. Once you understand this, you realize that one cannot work without the other. Neither can one exist without the other. In order for you to gain one, you must accept both. Most of the time, we decide that we are not going to be happy until we get what we want. But not being happy will attract the same kind of energy. If you are happy, despite the fact that you don't yet have what you want, you are operating on the frequency of abundance and attracting eventually what you want. Deciding that you are not happy because you don't have what you want is creating a signal of resistance to the universe. So the universe will see it as if you are not ready for what you're asking because you're not vibrating on that frequency. The law of attraction will not show up for you until you realize that you need to accept polarity, until you understand the law of polarity and accept all parts and all aspects of you. When you decide to manifest something in your life, you are attracting the whole experience. And sometimes attracting positive things comes with certain negative things, which you need to accept. An example of this would be to become famous on social media. You may become really famous on social media, attracting so many followers and so many great things on social media. But at the same time, your popularity may also attract trolls and negative comments under your posts. If you accept that this is a part of being famous, but choose to focus on the positive sides of being famous, you will enjoy and balance your experience and continue to manifest in this aspect. However, if you thrive on the negative side and start to feel really bad whenever you see one or two negative comments, it will start to lower your vibration and you may decide not to post so often. You may decide not to come online as often because you're being discouraged by those few negative statements that you're seeing under your posts. Choosing to focus on one side or the other is the key to manifesting and amplifying that side of the coin. So accepting that the other side exists whilst giving thought and attention to the side that you want to grow brings you into a place of balance. If you are single and looking for the perfect partner, but yet you complain so much about how you attract the wrong people, how people don't take you seriously, how you keep entering failed relationships, or how all relationships that you touch turn to dust. Complaining to your friends and actually nagging on certain occasions will create this vibration around you that's negative and will actually keep you in the loop of attracting the wrong partner. On the other hand, if you accept what has happened, you accept that it's a learning process, and you accept that it's also okay to be single. Become carefree and look at the positive sides of being single. For example, you have freedom. You're able to travel. You're able to do things on your own that are satisfying. You're able to improve yourself, do some self-introspection. All these things will lead you to becoming so happy with your state, despite the fact that it's not exactly the state that you wanted to be in the first place, but you are okay with it. You accept that it's also part of the whole experience. By becoming so carefree and accepting life as a single person, you will begin to put out this energy that will attract people who enjoy independence, who love to see people flourish, and who would probably be so happy to have you as a partner. So, remember the law of polarity, which is part of duality, that in everything there is an opposite. Where there is love, there is hate, light and dark, hot and cold, big and small. Appreciate it, find balance, find harmony, and raise your vibration.